just put our recording of Mr. Sandman into that movie. And we were kind of happy to hear about that.
Any estimates, Walt, of the total number of records sold through the years? Let's say by the Four Aces and by Al Alberts as a single, the combined...
As of 11 o'clock this morning when I called our accountant, 37 million. But that was as of 11 o'clock.
37 million what?
Records sold, including albums. Or am I not up to date on that?
Now, when you talk about records sold, we have gone over 100 million.
That I read in...
Now, how didn't you know that?
Well, I told you, as of 11 o'clock, you know how...
That I read in the lifestyle section. It says a pleasant or poetic way to get somewhere. And it's a story about Al Alberts and the group 3 decades later, and it says that they have sold over 100 million.
I'm correcting my notes right now.
Al, what could happen in your incredibly productive career that has not happened yet? Name one thing. Not a goal. You don't need any goal. What's left for a fellow who has sold over 100 million records?
A hit record. Another hit record at this stage would really be something that would taste of honey.
Well,
all through that, though, Joe, you know, you're young and you're running, and you really don't taste what's happening to you because your managers are saying, do this, your agents are saying, do that, and you don't take the time to really smell the roses and taste the honey.
It's beautifully spoken. You know what I would imagine? I would imagine that despite what they write about here, synthesizers and new technological procedures in recording studios, that the essence of what you do, the pretty ballad, remains unchanged. No matter how they hype it up, that it's still, on the pop music charts, the essence of the ballad is still the #1 big thing. I'm talking in 1987.
Absolutely.
You agree, Walt?
Absolutely.
Good music is still the ability to hear a melody and to hum it, and to understand the hook, and to go into your local record store and plop down your 79 cents and buy the record.
Have any of your fans, Al, sort of grown up with you and stayed with you through the years, and now maybe you meet their children or their children's children? Are you around long enough to be able to make a statement like that?
The exciting thing that happens on almost every concert that we do now,
right?
The youngsters who are our fan club presidents, when they come to see the original Aces today, they bring the old scrapbooks with them. And they're, this thick, and they bring the kids along with them. And we've had, in their excitement, their children talking to Mom, saying, Mom, you're acting like a teenager, because they get as excited when they see the original guys performing today as they did back then, and they've stayed with us all along.
That's great. I love that. This man's principal interest, as we've said, ladies and gentlemen, his principal concentration is his TV show, but as a little accommodation to a fella named me who loves to reminisce, we're going to show a little bit of an old-time TV show from the archives of Walter Gollender. You're going to see the original Four Aces. How many years ago? At least that many years ago, right, Al?
I don't know what this film clip is.
Yes.
I don't know. I've got so many of them. I can't keep track. I'm so chagrined about knowing what the record count was. I can't show my face.
To the beginning of television, when this man was the most desired guest on any variety show, the Ed Sullivan Show, the Perry Como, right, the Jackie Gleason, right?
Patty Page. Academy Awards.
Academy Awards, yeah. Uncle Milty, I give you old-time TV time. This is the time that we turn back time, and it's the time machine. Al Alberts and the Four Aces down TV's memory lane. Enjoy. Remember.
Not to in the fountain, each one is seeking happiness, thrown by 3 hopeful lovers. Which one will the fountain bless? 3 hearts in the fountain, each heart longing for his home. There they lie in the fountain,
And what's mine are some quotes here from Frank Sinatra and Rodney Dangerfield and a few others, how they feel about the Four Aces. This man influenced, as Walter Gollender pointed out, everybody. That wasn't as old as I thought it might be, but it's still memory lane, right?
It's enough long ago to have turned my hair gray, Joe.
I know that feeling. Mr. Alberts, I know that you want to go backstage and warm up for the next show, and the next show will feature his current... You talked about the big hit you're hoping for. I've been told it might be on the way to Cape May, right? That's the rumor, right?
But getting some kind of reaction to it, I'll tell you.
But I was curious if you're in the mood, Al, because we're a schmaltzy kind of, not corny, but we're from the bones, we're organic people. You mentioned your wife. Now, people would love to hear a little bit more about the family life of Al Alberts of the Four Aces in '87, in this year.
Well, as I said, my wife produces the television show, so we're constantly across the desk from each other with ideas.
Right.
But the album was produced by my two sons, who just opened their own recording studio, Al Jr. and Chris. And Stell selected all the material, but they did all the arranging, and there are 6 synthesizers used in that album, and the boys played every one of the instruments in backing the old man here.
They are proud of the old man. The old man's proud of the boys, right? Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, a whole bunch of photographs from the private files of Mr. Gollender.
By the way, can I say something?
Please.
To make my job easier so I don't have to spend as much money on phone calls, if anybody out there in the world of Joe Franklin, Memory Lane, has any pieces of anything on the Aces they'd like to contribute to the Four Aces Museum, which is strictly a non-profit situation, here's where to send anything at all, and you'll have your own pictures. You won't have to grab mine next time.
You never know. There could be somebody out there with a video clip of you when you appeared on one of those.
Got one 2 months ago from a fellow named John Black.
From what show?
Steve Allen's Songs for Sale, May 30th, 52. The boy just had a can of film, and he sent it up to me, and so it was a tribute to John Black from Winona, New Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, on tomorrow's show, more about the Four Aces, more on the life and times of Al Alberts, who's being sort of This Is Your Life by Ralph Edwards, me. And tomorrow, some of the rare photographs, and the big party is only just beginning. Stay with us. We've got what is known as a show of shows. Be right back. Stay here, please.
Orlando.
As they say in TV, stand by for the Joe Franklin Show. When you hear that theme called Joe's Theme, you know you're at Joe's place. That's me. There's no business like Joe business, no show like this particular edition, because you're going to meet some spectacular people. You're going to meet, and I know that Helen Hayes doesn't mind if I say this, you're going to meet the First Lady, the most respected lady of American theater, the one and the only, and one of my very first TV guests ever, Jean Dalrymple. And when you hear Jean Dalrymple reminiscing today about Cary Grant and Jimmy Cagney and Orson Welles and Charlie Chaplin, I think it's going to be kind of a blockbuster. Part 2 today, as promised, of the life and times and songs of Al Alberts of the Four Aces. We're going to meet the man today who has been with a major paper covering every major story longer than any other photographer, Mr. Louis Liotta. Mr. Liotta is going to reminisce about a photographer of years ago named Ouija, who was kind of a long-time idol, one of the most celebrated photographers ever. There's going to be one photographer reminiscing about the other one. I mentioned, and by the way, with us today, by popular demand, Rosie, the Greenwich Village poet. Things are rosy for Rose of Washington Square, a marvelous lady. I happen to be a fanatic fan of Rosie. Nostalgia, and the big party is only just beginning. Stay with me. We're going to